so we're now in day 2 of competition. What happened on the first day was us gathering all the information that we needed about the different teams and how they were fighting. So after we got done watching our fighters fight, we were able to watch some of the other competition. And let me tell you, it was some fighting going on. It was some serious fighting going on. So now we got to enjoy some fights. It was pretty daggone cool. But some of the teams that rose to the top were Australia and the Ukraine. They were about their business. So we kind of knew going into day 2, some of the teams we had to look out for. So we knew if they fell into the bracket, I mean, of course they were winning. So it was a good chance they were going to fall into our bracket. So we had to prepare for it. Okay. So with that being said, our female fighters were Fortini Candress, Lanisha Vincent, and Laura Sanchez. So there were the 3 fighters that had to compete, on that day. So now we're gearing up to get them started. So now they're warming up and getting prepared for fights. So now we're in full swing. We're watching what's going on. We're watching some of the other competitions. We got to see Justin Brown now ref some fights because, like I said, he was there to be a ref. We didn't see him during the event. We only saw him, after the event. So we got to see him ref. That was pretty cool as well. So it's getting great. We're having a great time. We're loving everything. A whole bunch of fun. So now I get to tell you a funny story before we get into the fights. So, of course, those of you who know Cody Freeling, if you don't, Cody Freeling is about that life. He's very invested in mixed martial arts. He's not only a coach, I think he's reffed in the past, things like that. So he has some history in the sport. The funny part is he was wearing a UFC t-shirt most of the time as we were getting the fighters ready. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Gamma is the new dogs on the scene for international competition in amateur mixed martial arts. The previous, leader in the game was IMAF. So when Gamma came along, they partnered up with One Championship. So One Championship kind of sort of has a rival going with the UFC as one of the leaders in the industry. Okay, because I think UMAF is trying, not UMAF, UFC is trying to get more, international appeal like in China and some of the other locations. So the officials from Gamma walked up to Cody and was like, hey, look, you can't wear that UFC t-shirt. You're going to have to change your shirt. And Cody like, man, I don't have any other shirts. This is the only shirt I got. So they went and got him a One Championship t-shirt and he had to wear that. So, of course, when I caught it, I said, oh, yeah, I got some jokes now. So here's me messing with Cody. Cody tried to start an international incident in Singapore at Gamma World Championships. There I said it. And it was Cody's fault. Now I'm playing. That's how it went down, but hilarious. So I was picking on Cody most of the night because of that. But that was some of the fun stuff that we had going on. So it wasn't all about business. We had a lot of fun going on, just dealing with the fellow fighters and the coaches and stuff. So we had a great time. We made a lot of great friends, a lot of great memories, a lot of great experiences. Okay, so let's get on to the fights. So the females. So once again, we had Fortini Candress, Lanisha Vincent, and Laura Sanchez. Okay, these were our 3 fighters. So not going in particular order of when their actual fights happened, just going is how I remember it. So we'll go with Fortini. Fortini had a couple of buys because of, I think we had some females fighting in day 1 and they rolled over into day 2, if I'm not mistaken. So her weight class, she had a couple of buys. So she only had to fight 1 time. So she did an awesome job. She came ready for this fight now. Win or lose, she was going out on her shield. You can definitely see that. So she put up a great fight. She turned it into a grappling match. She realized that she can out-grapple her opponent. So she was able to come out with the victory. So because she only had 1 fight, she won the gold. So shouts out to Fortini. Great job. She took on the gold because going into day 2, we were coming up short, man. So, pride, when your pride kicks in, we like, look, man, we ain't going to be swept here in Singapore now. Dang it. So we were prepared, even though you couldn't tell, weren't nobody saying anything. You can tell pride was kicking in. We gonna have to come up with something. So Fortini kicked off, as far as I remember. So she fought. Second was Lanisha Vincent for her weight class. Now, here is the story with Lanisha. Now, if you don't know, she's called the She-Hulk. So she's been competing for quite a bit on the amateur scene. She's done some great things. Has competed on the international stage before, and she's actually won a gold medal in Bahrain. So she already had a reputation on the international scene. Now, how much of that she actually knew, I'm not sure if she knew. She was in her own little world focusing on this fight. But on the outside, I can see it. So a lot of people were pointing and saying She-Hulk. I mean, from different groups were saying, hey, the She-Hulk, the She-Hulk. So I'm sure her name carried over from her previous international competition. So I'm not going to say she had a target on her back, but being a gold winner going into, another world championship, I'm pretty sure everybody had to go, look, this is going to be the fight we had to take serious. And because, like I said, everybody was dialing in to see this fight. So Lanisha fought twice. So, and, if I'm not mistaken, she had to fight somebody from Ukraine and she had to fight somebody from Australia. So she didn't have no easy fights. So her first fight, she fought the female from Ukraine first. Great fight. They tried to make it a grappling match, but Lanisha's strong. So she, pretty much threw that power on her and, got her. I mean, I think it went the distance, but she got the win. Now, the rule set for Gamma is that you had to fight multiple times in one day. So you didn't have just one fight, go home, prepared, make weight, and fight again. You had to fight again on that same day. So if you blew your wad in the first match and you went into the second match tired, it is what it is. Okay, so the second fight with Lanisha, she fought the female from Australia, and that was a back and forth war. So first round, Lanisha was doing her business. She did some damage, and she had to go rocked it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because it was, hey, some serious fights. Like I said, they let a lot of stuff go. So it was a lot of damage being thrown in that fight between her and the female from Australia. I can't remember her name, so I'll remember her name in the award ceremony conversation. So great back and forth. The Australian ended up winning that fight. So Lanisha took home the silver. Once again, she got gold in her first international competition and got silver in the second. So by no means, that's no slouch. It's a great win. So, but come to find out, from one championship, there was $100,000 contract on the line to the breakout star of Gamma World Championships. So it's not who won a gold, but who they consider to be the breakout competitor. Okay? And the female that fought Lanisha ended up winning, that contract. So shouts out to her. I can't remember her name, but I'll say it in the award ceremony. So there was some big wins going on for some of these fighters. Okay? Third fighter was Laura Sanchez. Now, Laura Sanchez, like I said, laid back. Couldn't really read her, happy-go-lucky. You know what I'm saying? I never see any of her footage. I didn't know what kind of fighter she was. Let me tell you something. When the bell rings, she dials in. Laura Sanchez is about that life. She, like I said, she went at it. She said, yeah, y'all ain't gonna beat me here in Singapore. That's for daggone sure. So she won both her fights. One was a stoppage, and the other one, I think, went the distance. But complete domination in both fights. She wasn't in no kind of danger. She hadn't to worry about anything. She did a hell of a job. Okay? So shouts out to Laura Sanchez. On top of that, she had a little surprise because her dad took the trip over, was in the crowd watching the fight. I don't think she even knew that her dad was there. So when she realized her dad was there, whole bunch of crying and hugging going on, a very emotional moment. But the females did their daggone thing, and they actually were the ones to carry the UF's team over. So we had 2 golds and 1 silver. With them winning how they won, talking to Justin, we end up placing 3rd in the Gamma brackets for international competition. I think Australia and the Ukraine were 1 and 2. So we top 3. So kudos to the females for doing what they daggone did. We did pretty well, man. We can't complain. But awesome time. Awesome time. So now that the fights are over, we were able to go out and have a great time and enjoy the nightlife and enjoy Singapore. because now the stress was over. So now we were getting ready for the ceremonies. So I'll definitely do a video on the ceremonies, and then we can talk about, one championship next, because yeah, we had some good times going on.